Honored today to have maybe one of the most loved R&B musicians of all time standing right next to us. Melanie Durrant came through, did her thing. Hip Hop for Africa. We just want to get your thoughts after the event, what you thought before the event, right now at the event.
Okay, well, you know what? I didn't really have much thought about it because I was really uneducated about what it was for and all of that. I didn't know it had something to do with Nelson Mandela and educating kids about AIDS awareness, And I just thought, you know what a good cause. And I just came off tour with the Barbershop Show, What's the 411, which is with Amnesty, teaching kids their human rights, tour across Canada in schools, where we got to give the message right to the kids instead of being like a teacher, somebody preaching at them, because we're popular faces, on TV and whatever. I just thought it was a great follow-up for that. And what a great opportunity to do something good.
In terms of another thing we tried to bring into this event was reading, the idea of hip-hop literacy, maybe actually doing a reading or giving away books at a hip-hop event. Did you have any thoughts on that, your own thoughts about reading in general and books and that sort of thing?
You know what? I do feel that reading is very important, you know what I mean? A lot of people slip through the cracks, without being educated, and they fake their way through, and it's like, to make sure that they become adults, well-educated adults, it's important for them to read. I mean, if you can't read, you can't do a lot of things. Like, how are you going to read the signs and, educate yourself by reading books and just reading anything?
Yeah. And then in terms of youth who might be interested in getting into music and getting into media in general, you've been in the game for a little while. You've been through lots, as any artist would. I mean, are there any thoughts for the kids? And
well, anybody who wants to sing and write and, be part of, the music scene. We don't have the best music scene here, so, you got to multitask, which means if you sing, you got to write, if you produce, you got to play an instrument, you got to, multitask so that you can get what you need done. Otherwise, you need a whole bunch of money, which isn't really the standard thing, you know what I mean? Nobody's got a whole bunch of money. I mean, some people do, but it's not a lot of us who, have that. So basically multitask, write, find your, local places where they're doing shows, get involved, volunteer your services, and do all you can to just get in the middle of what's going on, and we'll be able to help it.
Like I said, you've been so generous coming through to the event. Has your generosity for these types of events ever, have you ever discussed this with other artists, and artists ever said, why are you going to, you did, I don't even know, it was like a huge amount of schools, I remember, just all across Canada. Did any artists ever say, why are you going to the schools? Why are you volunteering your time at events like this?
No, nobody's asked me anything like that. But you know what? I never really planned to do, this stuff. It just kind of falls in my lap, and I'm like, yeah, I want to be there. And then here I am, and they're like, well, what did you think? I was like, I think this is great. But it wasn't like a conspiracy, I'm going to do that, and then everybody's going to love me. It's nothing like that. It's just, I end up in the right place, the right time. And I mean, feels good to me. And I haven't really discussed it with anybody because I guess the opportunity never arose to say, hey, guess what I'm doing? Hey man, you know what I'm doing?
Right.
But I'm sure a lot of artists would be interested in being part of this. Because I mean, I didn't even know about it until my girlfriend called me and said, hey, this is going on. Somebody reached out to me. And I was like, oh, that sounds cool. And then my manager said the same thing. And then somebody over at Koch said the same thing.
Right.
I just kept receiving emails and phone calls. I was like, but I said yes like 10 times, but nobody's talking to me.
That might be partly my fault. We love her so much, and we said we have to have her here. But when you were at the actual schools, was that a powerful experience for you to perform? I don't think any other Canadian artist has done, or even R&B artist in general, or music artist has done that many schools in such a short time. I mean, maybe dealing with the kids. What were your thoughts?
You know what? It was really cool to be there with the kids and see their little faces as they I really love you, and I think you're great. And it's just like, when they reach for you and they want to touch your hand, it's like, wow, these kids like me. It's the best feeling in the world, because